Welcome back to Suja South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash as always, and today you guys joined me. Welcome back to Suja South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash as always, in proud collaboration with Change Cars and All Things Motoring. That's very important. I can't forget that. But today you join me inside the Kia Sonet EX model. So I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about this vehicle, why this vehicle is this price, and why I don't agree with the whole product lineup. And then I'll tell you from the external look of the vehicle, internal look of the vehicle, and most importantly, the price of the vehicle. So today, we're inside the Kia Sonet, and obviously from the external look of the vehicle, the car does look like a Sonet, like the previous Sonet. So this is a facelift Sonet. There is a bit of a difference from here and there, especially more in the front and the back with the whole light bar design at the back. On the actual look of the vehicle, I do like the vehicle, more especially the color that I'm driving. It's a good color. It's not plain, so like a white Sonet for me doesn't do justice for the vehicle. But this green, but I know it's not called green. I know Kia will most probably call it some type of green, but I like it. It looks good. Up front, you get halogen headlamps. That's one thing that I don't like in this model. For you to get LEDs, you need to. I think you don't get LED headlamps, but you get LED daytime running lights as you move up the model range. But from the front end, that's the only thing I don't like. And as I'm driving, I'm seeing the previous generation Sonet. That just goes to show you how much this vehicle was loved. And I've been seeing a lot of Sonnets since I've had the vehicle. But from the front, it looks good. Side profile of the vehicle, it's okay. The shape for what you're getting and what the market is right now is nothing new. It looks like any other small compact SUV that you're getting on the market. Then you get these wheels, nah? Look at the wheels, they look good, but unfortunately they are not actual rims. What you're seeing now is plastic covers. So there's the wheel, then there's the plastic covers, which gives it off like you actually seeing actual rim design and all that. For you to get a rim design on the Sonet, you need to move up to the EX Plus. And yeah, so you need to pay more money for rims, which is something that I don't like, because why don't you just give me actual wheels? Because I'm already paying over 400,000 rand for this vehicle. Why do I need to move up to around 460 to 440, 450 for me to get actual wheels? So something that on the extra of the vehicle I'm not a fan of. And you move on to the back of the vehicle. The car is, it's okay. There's the main difference is with the lights. They moved to the way Kia's moving right now. They're moving with the whole LED light bar design at the back. Although this LED in this specific model, this LED, it's not LED light bar. It's actually just a light bar, but it doesn't switch on, so it gives off the look like it's a light bar, just like in the Picanto. When your lights are on, it looks like it's a full light bar, but it's not a light bar. I think if you move up the models as well, that's when you get like full light bar. So I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, I feel like Kia could have done more into trying to making it an LED light bar as standard. I shouldn't have to pay more money for me to get that feature, more especially if like the top of the range has it. Then you move on to the interior of the vehicle, and that's where, if you've been in a previous generation Sonet, this is where you'll see that there is no difference at all. So you get the whole digital instrument cluster in the middle, and then your analog dials on the left hand side, which is your rev counter, and then on the right hand side you get your fuel gauge and your temperature gauge. And then with the whole touchscreen infotainment system, this one, because I'm in the EX model, is an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which supports wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, something I like. And then when you move up the model ranges as well, the only difference on the interior is that the touchscreen infotainment system becomes bigger. So instead of this 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, you get a 10.25-inch, which is significantly bigger. That's like the only major difference that you'll see in the interior of the vehicle, comparing it to its pre-facelift model. The one that I'm in, that's how it looks. You get your aircon dials down below, so you don't get automatic climate control. It's the whole manual climate control. For me in this vehicle, not a train smash, it's okay. But when you look at the competition, like instantly when I speak about the competition, what pops up into my mind is something that I've spent time with is the Grand Vitara and the Urban Cruiser, which is essentially the same thing. That comes at the price point those one is sitting. It comes with a bit more features, and I'll speak about those two vehicles when I look at the price and all that. But you get manual climate control over here. The seats that this one, as you do not get leather seats. And I think looking at the market and looking at the people buying this vehicle, something that people always ask me when I get these small compact SUVs, a question I get asked when they don't have leather seats is, why doesn't it have leather seats? Is it an optional extra, those type of things? And yeah, but when you move on to the back seats, it's fine, it's quite comfortable as well. The leg room, yeah, could have been better, but it is decent enough for the size of the vehicle. But sitting at the back is quite comfortable. You do not get a center console, so where your drinks holder and all of those things at the back. So it's something that I wish Kia could have at least did something. So before I speak about the drive of the vehicle, let's touch on the safety of the vehicle. So, and I hardly ever touch on the safety of the vehicle, but I'm going to start doing that a bit more often. In this vehicle, you only get 2 airbags. So you get a driver airbag and a passenger airbag. For you to get the whole 6 airbags, you need to move up the range. So to like EX Plus and your SX models, that's when you get the whole curtain airbags and all that. So now, because I'm focusing on the safety type of thing, it's something that you need to consider when you're buying a vehicle and look at the competition. Are the competition offering more airbags, those type of things? Because the person that will be driving this vehicle is the person that will want to load up the vehicle. So you need to look at the safety aspect of things. Now, moving on to the drive of the vehicle, this car, if there's something that I need to give it to, is how smooth and how the overall build quality in the vehicle. That's one, and I think that's when you get to understand why the Kia is priced the way it is. Build quality, for me, it's a great place to be. It feels much better than a Grand Vitara and an urban cruiser. Then you move on to the drive of the vehicle. It's a good car to drive. It feels better than those vehicles to drive. The only thing that I've picked up that was a bit of a problem for me was, well, 2 things, right? The first thing, it has to be when you're on highway speeds, even if you're doing like 120, 130, there's a lot of road noise, right? And for reference to the road noise, you know, when you keep checking if the windows are closed because you keep hearing so much wind noise, yeah, that's with this vehicle. So I had my uncle in the vehicle, yesterday or so, and I know that all the windows were closed, but he kept checking his window was closed, and I told him, like, no, it's the road noise. So there is a lot of wind noise at highway speeds, but when you're doing city driving, the car's fine. And even when you get into the aspect of what the car has, like the CVT, it's perfect. The CVT for day-to-day driving in the city, robot to robot, is perfect. It gets the job done. So this car's powered by a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine, which produces 85 kilowatts and 144 newton meters of torque. Powered to this CVT, the one I'm in is CVT. There is also a manual, and for me, listen to me, if you can drive a manual and you do one and you don't mind a manual, get a manual. Don't get the CVT. It'll get to you when you're on highway speeds. Like I said, when you're driving here, like what I'm doing now, residential, day to day, the Kia Sonet is perfect. The CVT is perfect. It gets the job done. Once you get onto the highway, that's when you're like, okay, now this CVT is actually something that will get on my nerves. And why I say that is because even when you're doing, like, let's say 100 and you want to accelerate to 120 or you want to overtake, it does a lot of screaming. That's one thing. It'll scream and it'll feel like the car's moving, but it's not. So it makes a lot of noise, and for you to cancel out that noise, you must probably most of the time need to be blasting music. So something that I don't like, and I'd always advise someone that's getting a Kia Sonet to get it in a manual. For me personally, Kia should have just went for normal automatic. Even if it was like a 4-speed or 5-speed normal automatic, there was no need for them to go the whole CVT route, because I know Kia can make an automatic. I know they use a 4-speed automatic in like a Kia Rio. I think that automatic would have been much better suited here than this whole CVT, but you can't, I don't know why they went for the CVT gearbox in this vehicle. So when you move on to, in terms of pricing of the vehicle, you can get into a Kia Sonet LX manual for 366,000 Rand. The one that I'm in is the entry level, but in automatic form, which is the CVT model. Those cars priced at 391,000 Rand. For me, the pricing is in and around the competition. Looking at your urban cruiser, your Grand Vitara, they in around there, they're just under 400,000 Rand. And I think Kia priced this vehicle correctly there, because now when you're looking at those other vehicles and you look at this Kia model, you can see that this is a better build quality vehicle. It looks better for me. The only thing that I always speak about that I don't like is the fact that you get halogen headlamps. But overall, I think the look of this Kia Sonet makes it interesting in terms the look of the vehicle and the pricing of the vehicle makes it very interesting when you look at the competition of that it goes up against. When you move on to the next model ranges, you get an EX CVT, which is 411,000 rand, and then it jumps to the 1 liter, which is 436,000 rand, and then you go up for the EX Plus CVT, which is 454,000 rand. And then the one for me that doesn't make sense, and I don't understand why Kia included it, but I feel like it was more of like a forced move into including it, is the model called the SX CVT, which is priced at 485,000 rand. The reason why I don't agree with the pricing, or I don't agree with the whole model of that vehicle being in the model lineup, is because at that amount of money I can get into a Kia Seltos. And for reference, if you go to the Sonet video, someone did comment whether they should get the SX model or a mid specification Seltos, and I always say rather get the Seltos. It's a much better vehicle than this. So you need to look at such things. Will you rather get the top of the range Kia Sonet or an entry level Seltos? And even with the Seltos, when you get into the top of the range Seltos, you can get into a Sportage. So the pricing of all of that and how Kia decides the pricing of the top of the range models, for me it kind of doesn't make much sense, because even with the Sportage, the top of the range Sportage can get you a nice Sorento. So it's food for thought for me personally. And I always say at the Kia lineup, the one that you want to be looking at for me is literally the LX model and the EX model. In this Kia Sonet, the LX model is just underneath 400,000 rand. The EX model is just over 400,000 rand. And I think for the size of the vehicle, that's where you should be playing around. I don't think you should be paying more than 450,000 rand for this vehicle. But that's just my 2 cents of this vehicle. So if you take the one that I'm in, which is the Kia Sonet 1.5 LX CVT, and you go to the change cars vehicle finance calculator, and you finance this vehicle over a period of 5 years, which is 60 months, you're looking at paying that amount that's on the screen. For me, the pricing is okay. You just need to overlook certain things as the owner of the vehicle. You need to understand that you do not get LED headlamps, and I emphasize LED headlamps so much because the competition comes with that. The Grand Vitara comes with LED headlamps, so it's something that you need to look at. But for the pricing of the vehicle and what the vehicle gives you, I think Kia has went the correct way and have priced it correctly. But for me, what I always say to you guys is that if you have the money and you're looking to buy this vehicle, go and have a test drive of the Kia Sonet, go to the competition, drive those, and make your informed decision. All I'm here to do is to advise you guys where to go and not to mislead you. But I'm not here to tell you which vehicle to go for. Unless you ask me a Sonet or Seltos, then I'll tell you, go get a Seltos. But if you're looking at within the same range, different brands, honestly, it's all up to you, and you make the final decision. It's your money at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm Nicky Nash from South Africa. I'm proud to change cars. I hope you guys like the content. I'm signing out.